Eagles fly. Let's peep the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the dark jive. Drop the stats on them. Drop the facts on them. Spur game, baby. Let's get it on.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Eagles Talk, and this is your boy Pat Salen, and we have the lovely Nichelle. Sorry about the name thing. Dante does the name thing. He has all the control over that. I don't have control over that.
I know. Dante left us hanging today. He left us hanging.
For everybody,
he really is mad. He said he was boycotting. Now he's boycotting Thursday nights too.
So for everybody that's new out there, I want to welcome our new co-host, Nichelle. Her name will be up there next time. Dante will fix that for us. Right now, he's having a lot of technical difficulties. But in the meantime, all Eagles fan out there, Eagles Talk fan out there, let's wish Nichelle, let's say good things to Nichelle because she has some great insight on Eagles Talk, on Eagles, period. So welcome to Eagles Talk, the number one show for Eagles Talk on Facebook and throughout the different social media platforms. For everybody out there, if you can, make sure you share the show. Go to YouTube, subscribe, like us, and watch the show on YouTube. We're trying to get a followership up on YouTube. Dante, hopefully he will come in sometime around the second or third quarter because he owes us a couple shots. But welcome. Let's go to the first comment in the room. Let's see. Tina Holden. Hey, guys. What's up, Tina? How you doing? Drexel Davis. Good evening, everyone. He said it with the voice. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Deshae James, good evening. Good evening. Deion Jones, she's right there, Deion.
Yeah, right here.
Kevin Johnson, the season has been a rough one. Yes, it has. It has been a rough season. We got a lot to talk about. Let me get some more comments in here. John Baptiste, South Carolina, Bergate in the building. Good evening, sir. Richard Bull Lading. What's up, Eagles family? Analius, boy, anyone else is also with the idea of how to fix the situation right now? Please, football gods, give us 1 week of controversy-free football. I agree with that.
I wish.
And before we get into the quarters, how was your week? How was your week so far?
My week was a little busy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't let the Eagles get me down. Work was a little busy. I actually had a conference earlier today with some great folks and some business chamber folks, and my day job as a business owner. So it was okay. I cooked some good food. I made a pot pie this week with the leftovers. Right. It was delicious.
We're gonna have a section on the show about your recipes.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Some
game day food. Some game day
food is hearty for the soul for cold weather because that's what we need. But
that's
without any further ado,
right.
let's go ahead and get into this first quarter.
You're now listening to the Eagles Talk, the number one Eagles coverage show on Facebook. That is by Eagles fans for Eagles fans.
I had to put Dante in here some way, somehow.
Yeah,
so, make sure you get your shots. We like to we
don't whine today.
There you go. We have an interactive show, and with the interactive show, we like to drink. She's drinking wine. I got a little wine myself.
See, I got that same glass.
But I'm taking a shot. So right now, let me know what you're taking a shot of, or what you're drinking. If you're drinking wine, or you're drinking a Terramana tequila, like I am for the show. I'm doing a Terramana the Rock Johnson tequila. And we're
He's
gonna
been pumping that hard, his
Yo,
Terramana.
it's good. If I can get a sponsorship by Terramana, because we drink big
we
on
might
the
have
show.
to. We might have to hit up the wine.
Yes, we do. So for our Philadelphia Eagles, even though we didn't get the victory, there are some positives. There's a lot of negatives, and there's a lot of hope for us in the future. So to our Philadelphia Eagles, hopefully getting better. Down the hatch, 3, 2, 1. That was good. So back to this first game, this game last week. I did kind of watch it, went back and watched a little bit after seeing some horrendous play calling by our offensive coordinator Doug Peterson. I couldn't stomach watching it anymore. It was just a tale of why are we doing 2017 things in 2020? And the crazy thing about that is that I thought that they released what's his name? The safety, Will Parks. They released Will Parks earlier this week, and he put that in a tweet. 2017 doing 2017 things in 2020 is not going to continue success.
Wow.
And that's the crazy thing about that is that I said that, right? I said that. I was thinking about that. I'm looking at the plays, and some of the stuff looked familiar. And if it looked familiar for me, and I'm not even doing too much film study like I'm playing these guys, for the opponents, it's much easier for them to play defense against. What do you think?
We'll come back to the defense, but you know me and the rushing.
Yes.
We still didn't break 100 yards rushing.
I said
100. I think we got something like 70. 70 yards. So, and guess who had the most rushing yards? Carson Wentz with 42. Miles Sanders 15. Boston Scott 7. Corey Clement 6.
Yeah, that's not a success. That doesn't breed success.
No, and you know what? It reminds me of something that they always say in basketball. You live by the 3, you die by the 3. You live by the pass, you die by the pass. And that's what the Eagles are doing right now. We are dying on this 2017 passing game that's just not there.
Totally agree.
Instead of utilizing all of our weapons, he must have had how many targets? 3, 6, 9 passing targets. And we could barely put up 70 yards in rushing. And he had over half of that.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? It goes, like I said, it goes back into the offensive coordinator. And I always talked about this. We always had a conversation about this. What is the identity of this team, especially offense? Now, our offense has no identity whatsoever. If we wanted to bring it back to years past, at some point in time, we know we can run the ball. We needed a yard or two. We had a rushing offense. That's why we kept 4 running backs. We were so like, are we keeping 4 running backs? Why are we keeping 4 runners? We don't need that. But realizing that our offensive line opened those holes, we basically beat teams down, regardless of what their record was or how physical or how non-physical the team was. We basically beat them down, was able to win the game in the trenches, and that opened everything else up. So when you only run the ball, when Miles Sanders, who's averaging the third highest rushing per game average, per rush average in the NFL at I think it's 5.1 now, when he only rushed the ball 6 times, only had 6 rushes for 15 yards. We only rushed the ball for 6 times. There is really issues. I mean, I understand he had about the same amount of drop passes and stuff of that nature, but at the same time, you got to look at it for what it is. You have a stable of running backs. Use them. I understand we went down 14 points quickly, but establish the run, which opens everything up. I'm gonna go to some comments out there. I'm gonna put this one up there.
One thing to remember too: the Seahawks only outscored us in 1 quarter. And that was the second quarter.
did.
One quarter they outscored.
I have another stat for you about that, and it has to go about our defense, which we always talked about how bad it was. But you said we're going to talk about defense. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Tony Burton from Down Under, 6 teams put in a claim for Parks. Says enough. Yeah, 6 teams put in a claim for Will Parks. He's a serviceable safety. I still don't understand why we got rid of him. This is a funny one. Deion Jones, the towel is not thrown in yet, but it's on my shoulder, and I'm standing on the rings apron. You're doing a Nate Robinson, huh? You should do the towel. James Elam, no comment to run it at all. Yeah, nope. Listen. Jerome Thomas, Peterson is replicating his mentor's great fault, inability to adjust. Yes. His inability to adjust to what the teams are giving him. Okay, we're playing a defense that's, historically bad in the passing game. So I think we want to pass the ball, but if we don't establish a run game, all I'm gonna do is drop my guys back and pick you off. I mean, that's just this simple math. Let's go to one more comment. Jeremiah Andrews, defense was the only bright spot. Yay. Listen. When DK Metcalf had 10 receptions for 177 yards, yes, I have to say yes. Because believe it or not, if that was a different corner, that might have been 200 some odd yards. What do you think about that?
Right. Yeah. I mean, and let's talk about it, because I've been dying to talk about defense, because the offense is kind of a lost cause, because they just refuse to adjust, and they refuse to acknowledge that they actually have a run game.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about defense for a minute.
Okay.
And let's talk about the NFC least. We're only the NFC least on offense, because 3 of the top 10 defenses in the league are NFC East teams.
Mm-hmm.
We're number 9. The Giants are number 10.
How about that?
And Washington's number 4. So how about that?
Yeah,
We're not the NFC least on one side of the ball. We're only the NFC least on the other side of the ball.
Yes.
That's why teams really don't want to see any of those teams, because they know we have that defense between the Eagles, the Redskins, and the Giants. So defense is going to be the bright spot of this entire season for our entire division, because they're putting up numbers. We're number 9 in the league. We lead the league in sacks. Come on.
That's
our offense can't, right? And our offense can't even capitalize on that. Bruh. Seriously?
You know what? For all the
it's depressing.
For all the stuff that we give Jim Schwartz, he actually has this defense playing at a very high clip. Our defensive secondary is having a great year. We found a gem in the linebacker. And you know what? That's something else I need to talk about later on. Alex Singleton is probably the brightest linebacker that we have found since Jeremiah Trotter or Hicks. He is basically making every single tackle. There are some hiccups, but he is a very big bright spot on our defense. So let's move on a little bit, because we're about to end this quarter. And as I end this quarter, it is about time, because I see him in the waiting room. Our boy the Dark Knight is down there. He got his things together. You ready? Where's Dante at?
We was flying so
Dante's right here.
What's up, fam?
Hey, what's up, Dante?
I was just enjoying the commentary. I've been there for a minute. I just was listening to you guys. Great job.
So let me end this quarter real quick.
And that's the end of the quarter.
I was in the waiting room like a fan. I'm just listening. I'm like, yeah, you right there. That's a good point. That's what I'm talking about. So I see how you guys out there must feel, because I'm just there, and I'm kind of waving, but I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let them do their thing. But I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's like our defense top 10 in the league, But our offense sucks. But go ahead in the quarter. You did all that.
So we gotta look at this comment right here by Stephanie.
Hey.
2 shots for Dante. Oh, I will do this. This will be my last 2. I'll tell you that. I'll do it. But this will be.
I had one at dinner. That's why I'm drinking wine.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I had my month of sobriety and all that, and I've not come back to, like, I'm cool. I'm good. I bought like a 12-pack on Wednesday or before before Thanksgiving. I still got it. I mean, like, I had like maybe 3 or 4 beers. that was a good break. I like that. I like
It's a
that.
good break. It does a good break. But what happens is you start picking up after weeks. After the third
Yeah.
week, you start picking it up. Watch.
Nah, I'm good. I'm like, all right, this
That
is all right.
cigar and that good
Yeah,
whiskey.
you know what? That's fun. Did I tell you? Had never smoked a cigar without having an alcoholic beverage behind. I never until this past month the way
Mhm.
I didn't drink anything. That was my first time having a cigar without an alcoholic
Weird, right?
beverage in my hand.
It was
Yeah, it
weird.
was weird. I was like, wow. All right, but anyway, let's start this quarter. If you are new to Eagles Talk, you need to know this is Eagles Talk by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans. And we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, are in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage. And that's what we're talking about here because I wasn't doing shots last month, and now I am. So join us as I make my triumphant return because this is all we got to drink to is the fact that I'm drinking. That's it. Because our team sucks. All right? Our team sucks. And we'll get into that. But anyway, down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
I know you guys covered a lot probably, but did you guys at least say that we suck? Did you say that? Did we cover that? Do I not have to go over that?
We said our offense sucks. We
Yes,
got a
our
top
offense
10
sucks.
defense.
Yeah,
We
our
have a
offense
top
sucks.
10 defense for the first time in Gen Sports' history.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's balanced. When I say it's balanced, the rush defense and the pass offense is balanced. The only thing we need the offense to do is if they put up 21
Score.
points,
You say
put up
what? What's balanced?
the rush offense and the pass. I mean, the rush defense and the pass defense is balanced.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
They're up was the number 2 or number 1 in sacks. They don't give up many. Believe it or not, they don't give up many big plays. They're number 3 behind the Rams and I forget the second team in big plays. So in time possession, they're actually in the top 5. So this defense is it's surprising when you look at these stats for this defense. This defense is playing out of their minds from a Jim Schwartz coach defense. If the offense was able to matriculate down the field and put points up and basically save this defense, that's what we need to do.
The problem.
Therein lies the problem.
Imagine if the defense had a rest and the offense did their job. They'd be a top 3 to 5 defense. We wouldn't be 10 or 9. We're 9 right now, but imagine if the offense let them breathe and let them have a glass of water on the sideline.
Yes.
How much better they can even be, and they're already a top 10.
Exactly. That offense sucks. And I'm sorry, I mean, we can compartmentalize this and say that our defense is playing better than usual. I mean, good enough to win games. Let's put it that way. They're playing well enough for us to win games. Our offense sucks, man. I watched that game again, and I'm telling you, our high school team looks better than this offense that they do. I mean, dude,
Hot garbage.
It is hot garbage. And you made an extra interesting point. They don't even 5 straight 3 and outs. 5 straight 3 and outs. We didn't have a first down for so long. Like we can't even muster up 10 yards on on 5 consecutive drives. We couldn't even get 10 yards. That sucks, man. That offense looks horrible. It looks horrible. And unfortunately, the defense is going to be guilty to a certain extent by association, only because they are a part of this 3-7-1 team. But they are keeping us in the game, man. It was a miracle that we didn't give up 30 or more points with all the bad positioning that our offense left our defense in. 5 straight 3 and outs. The defense barely had time to walk to the bench, let alone get a breather. They barely had enough time to turn around, walk to the bench before we're kicking off. What? Are you kidding me? You guys can't get one. And the first drive, they gave us 5 yards. We couldn't even get 5 yards on 3 downs. We couldn't get 5 yards in 3 downs, man. This team, we have to be realistic about this. This team is not going anywhere.
I mean, how much I want to say, yes, I agree with you. Looking at this NFC East, we still have opportunity, man.
What's going to happen?
That's the sad part.
The sad part, you're right. We still have opportunity. It's hard to even fathom to put that together to say, you know what, we still have an opportunity, but we still do have an opportunity to win the NFC East and host a playoff game with a losing record. Because let's be honest, the team in the NFC East that comes out of NFC East will have a losing record.
Yeah.
But you know what? On the plus side of that, there has been 2 NFL teams to make the playoffs with losing records. Both of those teams won that first round game.
All right, so we're talking about how horrible the offense is. We're talking about how horrible the offense is. And one of the main culprits of that failed offense is one Carson Wentz. Everybody out there, let's talk about it. We've been talking about it. Is it now the time to give up on Carson Wentz? Should we be giving up on Carson Wentz? Should Jalen Hurts come in and play? I'm just going to put it out there. I'll give my opinion a little later. But what do you guys think? Should we be giving up on Carson? Has had a horrendous year. Not month, not 3-game stretch. I mean, entire season.
Mm-hmm.
He has been awful, except for maybe 6 minutes in the fourth quarter of the Giants game. He has been horrendous. Should we be giving up on him? Let me know.
We talked about this a little bit before the show, so I'm gonna let Pat take this one.
I don't think so. I mean, if you want to say we want to get up on Carson Wentz, then I go back and look at history. Peyton Manning in his 4th season threw 23 interceptions. Peyton Manning threw 23 interceptions. Yes, he threw for 4,000 yards. He had Marvin Harrison. He had some good receivers. He had guys that stayed healthy, but you didn't hear him say that city say, get rid of Peyton Manning. Let's go to somebody that's closer to home. Let's go to Eli Manning. In his 4th year, he threw 20 interceptions. Do you know in his next year, they went to the Super Bowl? So we can't. This guy, Carson Wentz, was projected upward with a terrible supporting cast. A terrible supporting cast with an often injured offensive line. When you put those two together, it's always going to be a recipe for disaster. When he hasn't had a 2 or 3 game stretch with a full healthy line, I mean Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson. 2, a full complement of wide receivers, healthy wide receivers. 3, an offensive coordinator, good wide receivers. Good, I say good, yeah. No, I say healthy wide receivers. I say healthy wide receivers.
No, I mean like with a lack of good wide receivers. That's what.
That's true. That's true. And a competent offensive coordinator in Doug Peterson who wants to run the ball and set everything else up. When he had that, and I hate to go back to this year, but it's the only barometer we have to go on besides the end of last year. It's 2017. When he had those intact, he was an MVP candidate. I don't want to say I'm a huge Wentz fan because I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I love my Philadelphia Eagles, and I give our Eagles a chance regardless of what their record is. They could be, they are 3-7. I still think we have an opportunity to make the playoffs because I love my team. Then you got to look at, is it bigger than Carson Wentz? Are you giving them the tools, the opportunities to win?
Well, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. It's easy to just blame Carson. It's easy. But his 2017, 2018, even 2019 stats were on a way different trajectory than what we have now. It's way too easy. And that's par for the course. I'm a quarterback mom. I know. And, my sons are always prepared to take the blame, even though we know that the receiver ran a busted route. We get it. But it's easy. But this year, what does he have around him? First of all, that doesn't even help with the psyche of any of that. Mm-hmm. When you have no O-line, you can't get a run game established to set you up for any good plays. It's like I said, it's hot garbage. It's a dumpster fire. It's a perfect storm right now for him to fail. He's being set up to fail, just like you are in your job. If they take away your best assets or your best workers, you're being set up to fail, no matter what you do. So it doesn't matter who they put around him unless they fix the fundamental issues of the play calling, establishing the run game. And that has nothing to do with Carson. That has more to do with the coaching staff. And there's no reason with the people that we have that you can't set that up. And stop throwing to Miles Sanders. Boston Scott is the running back that knows how to catch the ball. Miles Sanders should be running that rock.
We're not going to talk about this running back like that.
I'm just saying. I love Miles Sanders, but he is not our Brian Westbrook. Our Brian Westbrook is Boston Scott. He's the one that always has more catches. Look at the stats for the game. I think he was third or fourth in receiving yards, not rushing yards.
Yeah.
He was in the top 4 receivers. Boston Scott was top 5. Stop throwing to Miles Sanders. He needs to recognize the strengths, but that's up to the coaches to say, look, we'll set it up that these are the backs that you could pass to. You could pass to Scott. You ain't passing her. You ain't passing Miles Sanders. Let Miles Sanders run it up the gut and wear that defense down. But we're not doing that. Until we consistently have 100+ rushing yards a game, I will not be happy with this coaching staff. Period.
All right. Well, then that's why it's over. It's over. We're not going to have that. Okay.
Oh, come on,
I'm just going to cut to the chase. But speaking on the topic, I mean, look, we can make this a 5-minute program. We suck. Goodbye. See you next week. All right. Anyway. All right. I mean, that's how deuces. I see y'all next week because this is what we've seen all year long. But as far as should we be giving up on Carson Wentz, I'm kind of in the boat with you, Pat. I don't think we should give up on Carson Wentz. Has he had a horrible season? Yes, he has had a horrible season. But there's other contributing factors to that, which you have named some of, Pat. Talent around him. I mean, although we think that Greg Ward is adequate in slot receiver, Fulgham had come on and emerged over a course of 4 or 5 games. But we're not talking about the likes of a CeeDee Lamb or DK Metcalf out here. We don't have that type of talent in our receiving core. They're young. Can they be something? Maybe, but are they there yet? No, not Rager, not any of the young guys. Deshaun is hurt. Alshon is a shell of himself. Seems like, I don't know. We don't really know what we have in Alshon. Listen,
now, I could cover him at 200 some odd pounds. Right. I can cover him one-on-one right now. No help.
Is Carlson is devoid of talent right now, and that's not just the wide receivers, which are the people that are intended to catch the passes that he's throwing, but his offensive line's in shambles. He's been hit the most in the league. He's been sacked the most in the league. When you've had that happen, it can make you a little gun shy. I mean, yeah, some people might say, well, we give him $100 million to get past that, but dude, if one game depends on your teammates, it's football. Nothing happens. You can't be a successful anything unless your teammates are major contributors in doing their job. That's what it's about, especially in the game of football. If your offensive line is not getting any type of stop, pressure or not, it makes your job that much harder as a quarterback. We know. I mean, this is not rocket science right here. If you know football, you know the basics. This is it. You can't drop back and not have at least 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball. If you're dropping back and your first thought is this hot guy coming off the side, your attention is going to be on that guy. I mean,
yes, it is.
So he has the talent around him.
111
is failing him.
Hits.
Yes,
111
his talent around him
hits.
is failing him, and I can't help but think that his coaching staff is failing him also. There's some things we talk about that Doug can do differently that can possibly help him out. That's what the good coaches do. They look at their deficiencies and they scheme game plans around that, and they go towards their strengths. Well, one of the deficiencies is Carson Wentz dropping back and being under pressure all the time. I don't know if he can solve that because of the talent that he has, but he can solve it or help him out and rolling them out sometimes, running the ball more, all the things we've been talking about all year long. And so if it's going to depend on us being a successful run team to be able to make a run or do something, that's out. It's not going to happen. We've been calling for it all year. We've seen stretches where it's worked and he's gone away from it. Last game, he didn't even try it. It's not going to happen. I'm being real. It's not going to happen. Hopefully Doug will get another. I like Doug, but Doug, he got to go. He got to go.
They basically took Wentz, dropped him off at the bottom, and said, "Fend for yourself." That's what they did. That's what they did.
You know what? I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, you got to give him some help. And when I say give him some help, the plays you have designed for this offense doesn't get anybody open. Let's be honest, it doesn't get anybody open. The first time I ever seen a crossing route, and yes, he did miss that on the interception on that fourth down play, but that is the first time I seen a crossing route, and it was done by Richard Rodgers. He broke open on that fourth down play by the end zone where Carson threw that interception. But if you constantly have these crossing routes like these other teams are doing and being successful,
Yep.
I mean, you get these guys who you deem like a regular with speed, Greg Ward. You get these guys program. You get them open. You get them open.
Yeah, you have to design plays. That's why Doug, and it may be. I saw a report where they said that Doug, rumors are Doug wouldn't be totally unhappy if he was fired. Guess what, Doug? I
What?
wouldn't. I
That's a
wouldn't
little
be
extra.
totally. I mean, that's. I don't know if it was truth or what, but they said
I
that
don't think so.
it
I don't think
was.
he's going anywhere. I'll be honest with
I,
you.
I, I'm
I'm just
not with
saying
the whole
the
benching
report
either.
was that he wouldn't be totally unhappy if he was fired. And I can see why. But guess what? I wouldn't be totally unhappy if he was fired either. So we agree on one thing right there. So I would not be totally unhappy if Doug was fired. And it may be helpful to him. It'll be helpful to the team because I don't know if his style of coaching is resonating anymore with this team. Um, you know, we talk about the lack of disciplinary of a disciplinarian he is, and then we talk about how management has cut his nuts off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, right in front of the team. And,
Hmm.
and how are you a leader of men when you have your nuts cut off in front of the team? I mean, I'm saying it may be time for him to go somewhere, and maybe that's why he's not totally unhappy. Because if he gets another, at which he will get another job, because he has a Super Bowl ring on his resume, so he'll get another job. And when he does, I just hope that he gets the power or gets the chance to yield the power of a true head coach, because he didn't have that here. But that being said, that's why it doesn't work. So he has to go. He has to go. Move on. I wish him luck. It's almost like, well, it's not almost like, but when Andy Reid left, he had to go. I mean, he picked up right where he left off over there, but he needed that, and we needed that. He needed that for a brand new start because he had gotten stale and he had gotten
Hmm.
a little, stale in
Stagnant.
this position,
Yeah.
stagnant and all that. So he needed that to jumpstart his career, and we needed it because we were stuck in a rut. And Doug needs this because they have cut his nuts off, and he needs to go somewhere where he can be his own man, and he don't have to hear about Frank Wright over his shoulder or anything like that. And we need him to leave because his ways have gotten stagnant here already in 5 years. But we thank him for the Super Bowl.
Let
I
me
thank
let
him.
me do this, Dante. Let me do this. I know you're talking all this gibberish. Let me end the quarter for one thing.
All right.
And that's the end of the
Let
quarter.
me throw this out there before you say anything else. Doug Peterson's tenure as the Philadelphia Eagles head coach. This is his tenure here. 45 34, one record, including the playoffs. He's 4-2 in the playoffs. He won Super Bowl 52. He has made the playoffs 3 or 4 years coaching the team. All right. Yeah, we was an Alshon Jeffrey drop away from probably going to the NFC Championship. We don't know that for sure, but we say that a lot. He was runner up for Coach of the Year in 2017. He should have won Coach of the Year that year. All right,
Yeah,
because
he should.
he beat the Coach of the Year
Yeah.
handily without his top quarterback who should have won MVP that year. All right, in his tenure here, he's had the most starters on the offense injured combined. Period, hands down. He has lost his quarterback in three of the 5 years that he's been here. He has lost his quarterback, right? But yet he's helped Carson Wentz become the first Eagles quarterback since Donovan Nack to surpass 4,000 passing yards while not having a single receiver over 500 receiving yards. So we want to get rid of a coach that done all that for this organization within the 5 year span. No, we should give him some. We should talk to him and give him the help that he needs. For some saying, "Listen, Doug," and he admitted to it. Doug, you can't be head coach and offensive coordinator. You could chime in, but you need an offensive coordinator that's going to
When he
be.
just did that this week, right?
He did do that this
Yeah,
week.
all right.
So basically, he needs a football therapist. Him and
Yes,
Carson need some
Yeah.
football
yes,
therapy to deal
yeah.
with all the L's that they
No,
were taking on the execution side of
we need a
things.
divorce of quarterback and coach. That's
Dante's
what
Wait
we
a
like,
need.
minute.
We
I'm
need
Wait
a
a minute,
done. I'm
divorce.
Dante.
finished.
I'm
I
not
have
giving up on. I'm
nothing.
not giving up on Carson. We got a lot of money invested in him.
I'm not ready to
Um,
divorce Doug yet, though. And I don't think Hurts
I
is the
am
answer. I see a lot of people in the
definitely.
comments put Hurts in. I'm like, why? So we can get him hurt?
Yes.
No.
No,
No,
I don't
no,
think
we're
so.
not doing that. No, we
This-
need to protect him too. We can't
yes,
throw him into the dumpster fire and burn him before he's even ready to
No.
progress. That's
yes.
just insane to me to try and just throw in Hurts. Obviously, and I sent you guys a thing with Ron Jaworski. If Hurts was ready to start, they would have tried that experiment.
Yes, they would
Clearly,
have.
he's not showing that at practice. And furthermore, I don't want young bro to get hurt. This offense is not set up for
Yeah.
us to just wing it with a high draft pick. I think
Mhm.
that's reckless. I just
No,
think
that's
it's
very
reckless.
reckless. I thought,
I
well,
agree.
I thought it was reckless that they even used the pick on a quarterback. When you
That
signed a
well,
franchise
that's
quarterback
going
to
even back further.
$100 million, I think you should be getting him support, not drafting his replacement. It just seemed like it was no
An
Yeah,
O
reason for them to
lineman.
do that. I do believe Carson can come back. Their quarterbacks have had bad stretches of
they do.
weeks, and even years. I mean, you
Hmm.
guys have used some examples, but how about this example? Derek Carr from Oakland. He had 2 bad years, years,
Mm.
not
Yeah,
stretches.
they
He
was
had whole
trashing him
years, and
too.
they was trashing him. And look at him this year. He's back. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you can be repaired. You can have stretches like that. So I'm not ready to pull the plug on Carson Wentz. I am ready to. I just don't believe that this coaching staff is going to get him back to where he needs to be. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I want to see him go also, Doug Peterson, that is. I don't think that I don't think that he's going to fix Wentz. I don't think that he can do it. I just don't.
Mm-mm.
So
Oh, with
being
that
him,
being said,
Wentz being the bigger investment, I think we have to surround him with what he needs. They did it in Seattle. They got rid of the whole team to cater to Russell Wilson.
they did. They
The
did.
Legion of Boom is no more. Everybody's gone. You put that much money into your quarterback, you need to give him what he needs to have to be successful. That's an investment. You know what I'm saying? If I buy a Rolls Royce, I'm not going to go put on the cheap tires. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go get the cheap battery. I got this great investment here. I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to give it what it needs. I'm not giving it unleaded.
Wait a
Okay?
minute.
I'm giving it premium.
It might be a week. It might be a week. I give it unleaded.
No,
But Dante,
well,
let
then
me
I
do
shouldn't have
this.
got. I shouldn't have got it. Then that was a dumb
Let me do
investment. If
this, man.
you're not gonna give the investment that the quarterback needs, then you shouldn't have given them the money
Uh,
because you
uh,
can't
let,
do it
let,
alone.
let me give this example. Kurt Warner is a Hall of Fame quarterback, is he not?
Hmm.
He went from St. Louis to the Giants, right? He
Right.
suck with the Giants? Wasn't he terrible with
Yep.
the Giants?
Yep.
Then also
Yes,
he
you
went
are.
to Arizona and he became the man again.
Yep.
So I mean, you're right. Quarterbacks do go through stretches where they are terrible. Shoot, Brett Favre had a year where he threw 29 interceptions. The next year he came back, he was even 18. The year after that was 28 for 15. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it happens when you're throwing the ball, but you got to be very creative. This coach has to be very creative. And I want to do this before we go into the third quarter because this is happy Dante. I like to hear happy Dante.
Eagles
Oh, this
Talk,
is happy.
the number one Eagles coverage show on Facebook. That is by Eagles fans for Eagles fans.
That was happy Dante. You should see the video I got that
Yeah,
from.
no, I'm not. I'm not happy Dante anymore. I'm tired of this. And if they lose this week, you know what my stance is. But this is crazy. We ended the quarter. Let's
Yeah, we
start the
ended the
third
quarter.
quarter.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
All right, you are listening to the third quarter. We are still mad, and some of us feel like there's some optimism to be had. I do not. I'm just angry because 3 years removed, we are in the position that we are in after they told me that this was the new norm. And like when you look back on it, you see that they've done nothing to make this the new norm. Like
Mhm.
nothing, nothing. and I'm upset. I'm just upset as a fan, and you should be too. This is the team that we just saw win the Super Bowl. We love them with all our heart and soul, and they're giving us nothing. And it looks like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Let's put it that way. When we look at how do we fix Carson? Well, we know we fix them by surrounding them with talent. But you look at who's our talent evaluator, and it doesn't seem
Feasible.
likely that that's going to happen
Yeah.
unless you get rid of that guy. I say
Mhm.
clean house, man. Everybody got to go, and
And
let's
I
get
don't
this.
totally disagree with you, Dante, about the Doug thing. I'm just saying I think he should have one more season to prove himself. I didn't say he didn't need to go. Jorge, this is the Jorge down there calling me babes. My name is Michelle. You gotta let the fellas know. But yeah, I don't. The clock is ticking for Doug. I'm just saying I wouldn't at the end of the season just throw him out into the wolves. I would. He gets one season. He got one season left. That's it to me in my eyes.
Yeah, I told you.
No,
I told him
I don't
he
want no
gets
more.
full 5
You said
seasons
no.
after the
I'm
Super
done.
Bowl.
I
So
don't
you
want
gotta
no
give him a
more.
6th season. Man, let's do this shot. Let's do this shot.
I don't want no more. You know, you was at the table, mom make you eat the collard greens, and I don't want no more.
I want
That's
some
how I
collard
am
greens
with
right
with
now. I
Doug.
don't know
I
what you're
don't
talking
want
about.
no
Yeah, we've been
more.
having tantrums all week. I've noticed.
All right, here we go. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1. Nice guy, love him, nice guy, but I don't want no more. I don't want no more, Doug. I mean, man, come on. Did you see this offense? Did you see this offense? We don't even look like a professional football team on offense, man. This is disgraceful. It's embarrassing to even watch this team on the field. And that's what
Okay.
I'm standing up against. I don't want to see
Yeah.
this anymore, man. Man, look, I'm one of those guys. I'm an IT guy too. Like, yo, it's don't work. Wipe it clean. Let's re-image the joint. You know what I'm saying? Let's just wipe it clean and re-image the whole team, and that's
Whole
it. Let's
reboot.
move on. Yeah, total
Wipe that
reboot.
hard drive.
Well, we did.
Yeah.
Didn't we do this year? Didn't we get rid of Mike Grell for this whole offensive brain trust? I don't think it's what you can't keep trying to add on to something. You have to have somebody come in there and be the voice of reason. We talk about this all the time with Frank Wright. We need a voice of reason in Doug Peterson's ear. Do study as much as I love him, he's not the voice of reason. All right. There are some guys out there that can be that voice of reason and say, you know what, Doug, your play calling sucks. All right. You cannot put together a string of play calls to save your life. All right. I'm going to help you out right now. No, you shut up. All right. Or I'm gonna smack you because Jeffrey Lurie gave me the authority to smack you. All
Now
right.
Pat having a conversation with himself. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do.
He playing both sides too. No, you shut up. No, you shut up. All right, no, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Man.
Listen, I mean, you have to do that, man. He's a voice of reason in that on that sideline with him, so he can't be the head person in charge when it comes to calling these plays.
All right, here
Because
we go. Here we go.
An accountability partner. He needs an
Yes.
accountability
Right,
partner.
he does. He does. But that's somebody that he has to, respect as, as such. I think he gave Frank Wright that type of respect, and that's why they work so well together. I think that, personally, I think that Doug's hearing all the talk about Frank Wright being the reason too, and that can make you, that can fill you with some false pride, not false pride, but just pride. Like, well, I'll show them. They think it was Frank Wright. It's me. I can do this.
his
And it's
pride is
not
getting him hurt.
working.
It's getting
And
Carson
it's
hurt.
and it's not. You know what I mean? And because he's bullheaded, and it's all speculation. You know me. I don't know the
His
guy,
ego's
but
bruised.
his
Yes.
ego is bruised, and he's fighting against what may be the inevitable. Give up the play calling duties because like I said, I like a coach. I want a coach, or I like a coach that by any means necessary we win. I don't care what that is. If that means that I have to do things differently to win, I have to relinquish some of my duties, play calling duties, whatever. I don't care because bottom line is this is my team and I want them to win, whatever it takes. If I run the ball and we win 15 games, 10-9, I'll take that. I don't care about flash or dash. I don't care about a passing attack looking spectacular. I just want to win the game, and I want to do it by any means necessary. And I need Doug to have that mentality and look in the mirror. And if you can see in your heart that you are not successful at play calling, then turn it over by any means necessary. The team comes first.
I don't think you
Turn
see
it
that.
over.
Dante, I don't think you see that. I don't think you see that right now. He's at fault for how the offense is moving. I don't think I don't think he has that in his mind. I think he's saying I'm drawing up these plays and these guys are doing the wrong things. They're not understanding TE routes. They're not understanding that you need to sit into these zones. I think they're not getting. I think that's what he see out there instead of understanding that you know what, I was successful running the ball. Let me continue running the ball regardless of a fumble.
Mm.
And
Mm.
that
And you
scares
said
me.
it last time, Dante. You said it last show. He needs to be a CEO, and he's not. He's not managing all the departments the way they should be and putting the best pieces in place or the best leadership in place with each of those departments in terms of different areas of the ball. And he needs to relinquish control of that. That's how you are an efficient CEO. You get people that are smarter than you
Right.
in the various areas. That's what successful CEOs do.
Yes.
Meaning, if you're not the end all be all, you're not the only brain trust in the room, and that's part of the problem. That's part
And
of
it
the
doesn't,
problem.
and to me, it doesn't take, like, I know you have to take an honest look in the mirror, but you don't even need to look or squint your eyes to look that closely. Sometimes, like, all you have to do, you know what I'm saying? All you have to do is, like, look at the numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Your
True.
That's
offense
right.
sucks. Look at the numbers. Your offense sucks. The simple conclusion is like, yo, I've been doing it my way all year, and these are the numbers. Let me just try it another way. Let me try another approach to this. I don't care if it's doing something different, like I pass the ball 70% of the time. Let me switch that around and try to run the ball some more. I don't care if it's, my play calling has led us to a 3-7-1 record. Let me just let somebody else. Let's just try it for a game or two and
Listen,
see
he
what
needs to call
happens.
me. Like Pat, come on in. Let me get some ideas from you.
Ah,
I'm honest. I mean, as much as we laugh and we joke and we get drunk on the show, the information that we put out there is actually truthful information. If you look at it, successful teams are able to run the ball when they need to run the ball. We are able to run the ball, but yet our offensive coordinator, who's our head coach, refuses to continue to run the ball. So, the way to win a game is to run the football. You
I
become
really would like to hear from Deuce Staley. Like, has anybody
uh,
interviewed him and just asked him how he felt about getting more running back production? Because I know he has to be frustrated.
no,
It must be frustrated.
he gets in his truck and leave before press conference, right? He's like,
He's like,
I'm
you don't want me to
gone.
say nothing.
I'm
I'm out.
Yeah.
gone. Let me get this paycheck. All right, I'm good.
Yeah.
All right. So are we all? Did we finish the third quarter?
Right now we did.
Yeah, we're ending it right now because I don't remember hearing the beginning of it. But anyway, we're gonna
And
end the third
that's
quarter.
the end of the quarter.
All
I
right.
agree
So
with Robin's comment here, Doug trying to relive his QB years because he, being a QB, being all pass happy.
Yeah.
yeah, oh definitely, and being a Andy Reid disciple also. All
Well,
right.
he
So we're
was
going.
under Don Shula, right? He was under Don Shula as a quarterback when he came in the league, and he helped Don Shula get his victory to break the record. Because
Okay.
Dan Marino went down with injury, and Doug Peterson was became the starting quarterback. So that office was predicated around throwing the rock.
All right. Well, he needs to run the rock right now. He's
Yes.
messing up right now. He needs to get it together because I think that, and rightfully so, I think he should be in the hot seat. And not only him, and we'll talk about this in the fourth quarter. This is a good question. But let's start this fourth quarter. You are watching the Eagles Talk, the number one Eagles coverage show by Eagles fans for Eagles fans.
I got that. I got that
And
drop now for you.
all right, yeah, you do.
It's called Eagles Talk
and
Gold.
and we talk about our favorite football team as we enjoy our favorite adult beverage. And right now we're enjoying a lot of it because our Eagles they suck. They suck right now. So, and I don't see any wins in the foreseeable future. I don't see a win this week. I'm sorry. I don't want to be Debbie Downer or whatever, but damn it, this team this year will make you drink. They will make you drink. All right, see, stop, Michelle. What are you doing? You can't do that.
Power. I lost. I
Okay,
was
all
losing
right. I'm
power.
just saying, we gonna have Me
I was
Too
about to run
problems.
away. I
We
was about to
gonna
run
have,
away.
we gonna have Me Too problems. Stop it, okay? All right. Listen, you don't know. See, you don't see the screen here. We see the screen, and then we gonna get some posts, and then you're gonna be talking about some. Don't be calling me. No, you can't be doing what you just did, and then expect that everything's what you can't do
My
that.
bad.
Okay, all right. Here we go, man. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I want to say.
Out of frame.
I want to say this
I
before
was
we.
out of frame. My bad.
No, you were not.
I do want to say this before we go any further. I do appreciate you, Michelle, for coming in and taking this position with us because this is a almost a thankless position, but we thank you because it's difficult to do what we do. Drink and talk about the team that we love, and take it from the Eagles fans because we're fans. So take it from the Eagles fans, and I appreciate you. I look forward to working with you, Father. I don't know if Shell will come back anytime soon as a guest host. But I look forward to when we're able to open up. We're able to get back out there and go to the different locations.
Yeah,
and if we're able to come out, to be there.
Absolutely.
With us.
Yeah, I got a spot over here in Jersey. We can go to. I mentioned that when we were chatting. So and I thank you for letting me spout the stuff that I'm usually spouting in the chat. So I do own a marketing agency, so we do production and all this other stuff. So I'm not really new to this world. So it's nice to be able to do something for fun versus work.
Well,
I
again,
appreciate that.
shout out to Terramata Tequila because we're trying to get sponsored.
No, see, I need to be the Eagles, Joe. See how I evaluated talent and I brought it on board. Look, Howie, take a page out of my book. I looked,
tell him, Dante.
I looked and I evaluated the talent and I brought Michelle in here. Boom. That's how you improve the team right there. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so in this fourth quarter, we're going to talk about who is most likely to survive this season. And the three main suspects are Carson Wentz, Doug Peterson, Howie Roseman. Who's most likely to survive after this season? I'm going to say Carson Wentz is most likely to survive out of all of them. He's the most likely to survive because his contract's too big. You can't get from under it. You kind of invested in him. He's not going anywhere. But Doug and Howie, equally, I say they can both go. I mean, that's when I say clean house, I don't mean get rid of the quarterback, but definitely get rid of the front office and the coach because this is you look around, we don't have talent. Carson Wentz doesn't have talents around him. That's Howie Roseman. He doesn't have the play calling. Even though talent is a big contributor, but he still doesn't have the coaching that he needs. And I don't think this coaching staff is going to bring him back. So let's blow it all up and start over.
You know what? I have to disagree with you. I mean, yes, I think Wentz will be here because his contract say he will be here. And it's just stupid to take a $24 million hit. But I also think Doug Peterson gets one more year. I think he gets one more year. Howie Roseman, he might be more or less on a hot seat because of what he has done within the last 3 years. He might be the one that's out the door.
He's always on the hot seat, though.
If not, move to the back desk to just work on contracts. Because I mean, he does wizard things with the contract. He does those. He makes these contracts work. I mean, I'm not even worried about next season about our contract situation because I know it will work itself out because you have Howie Roseman here. That's one thing he's good at. The one thing he sucks at is talent evaluation, drafting.
Yeah.
He needs to be removed
take him off draft
from that aspect. Yes, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was happy that we drafted Jalen Rager because I actually watched him. I'm a college football guy. I watched him. I did like
So
Justin
you wanted
Jefferson.
him over Justin? You wanted him over
We had this
Justin?
conversation. I did watch Justin Jefferson, and I did watch Jalen Rager. I was leaning towards the aspect of speed, even though Jefferson ran a faster time in the 40 at the combine. I thought that Jefferson was more or less suited to play the slot position in the NFL like a Nelson Aguilar. I don't foresee him being the person that he is right now. That all changed. Like that's the work ethic. Yes, that happens. I mean, I was wrong. I do agree with that aspect. I was wrong all about Jalen Rager. Now, does he still have time to grow as a receiver and be the best? Let's look at it. Calvin Benjamin for the Carolina Panthers was drafted in 2013. He had a 1,000-yard season. He was considered to be one of the top 3 receivers in his draft class. Calvin Benjamin in the next 2 years tore his ACL, ballooned up to like 270, and looked out of place. I mean, that happens. Sometimes you have a good year, you go against these defenses that don't know what you're doing. Now when you get game planned against, situations happen. But like I said, I think it's going to be Doug and Carson. They're married to the hip right now.
And Howie's a great accountant. He just should not be picking a talent. He's great. He's a budget master. I will give him the purse strings, but let him stay in his lane. Just like Doug, you're not a good play caller. They both need to kind of get in their lanes on where they excel at. And with Howie, it's really good at managing the budget and wheeling and dealing with those contracts. He should not be evaluating talent. He's only evaluating the numbers. They need to tell him who they want and let him crunch the numbers. That's all he should do. And Doug needs to relinquish all his duties when it comes to the play calling. If they just would stay in their lane and recognize where their strengths are, it could be a whole different situation.
Yep.
Nope, not going to happen. Send them all on their way.
No matter what I say, Dante.
Who would be a head coach? Who do you want to replace right now?
You know what? I agree. I agree with the fact that I think that Howie is a great numbers guy. If you want to keep him, if you have to keep him, I can live with it. If you give him a real general manager that is in control of personnel decisions. You have to give him a personnel dude. If you do that, then I'm on board how he can stay. If you continue to let him be the personnel person, then no, it's not going to work. So I'm not totally against this. I'm just saying that things have to change and drastically. It can't stay status quo. Howie cannot stay with Doug. They both can't coexist together because of the dynamic that I talked about. Howie hired Doug to be the guy that he can control, the guy that he can fire his staff and hire his staff. And he's shown that throughout Doug Peterson's career here as a head coach. We always talk about last year. He came in one press conference. No, my OC is going to be him, and my quarterback's coach is going to be him. The next day, came back out. All right, I made a mistake. Yeah, we're firing both of them. Things like that happen. Jim Schwartz was hired before Doug Peterson. Jim Schwartz was on the staff before they hired a head coach.
Yep.
This is another thing. You know what I'm saying? It just has to separate. It just has to. There has to be a divorce just because of this dynamic. There's dysfunction going on this team, and I hope Jeffrey Lurie can recognize it and get past it. I understand he brought Doug Peterson in to be emotionally intelligent. That means he wanted him to be anti-Chip Kelly. And Doug is good for that, but I think Doug is too soft to a certain extent, and this team is playing like a soft team, a soft, non-talented team. And that's because of Howie Roseman, because he has not given Doug the talent. It seems like Jim Schwartz gets whatever he wants, and Doug Peterson doesn't get anybody he wants, unless he wanted Hurts in the second round, and if he did, then he's an idiot also. That's another reason why he has to go.
I gotta say this, and I'm going back to drafts, and I brought up Calvin Benjamin, not 2013. He came out 2014. And right. I went back and looked at that draft. We drafted Jordan Matthews right in front of Devontae Adams, who we play this week.
Duh. All right, go ahead, Howie. That's Howie.
That's
We're
2014.
used to being one player away with Howie, though. That's like his
Oh
MO.
man, this is you know what?
That's
It's
his
my
MO.
it blows my mind that we miss out on these players. Like, what was the situation with us not drafting? I want to know why we didn't draft DK Metcalf. I want to know why we didn't do that. I could understand, the reason now behind not drafting Jefferson. I could understand that a little bit. I mean, I know J.D. Rager might have been a second round pick, and he could have been around in the second round pick. And you might you got on your draft board might have been CD Lamb, right? I think they wanted CD Lamb, and it was an opportunity to get CD Lamb, but that didn't happen. So
We
you went
could
with your
have
next
got
guy.
him. I would have got. I would have went up and got
So
CD Lamb.
with that being said, what is the reason now that they decided to draft JJ Arcega-Whiteside over DK Metcalf? I know kids in the street right now that would curse
He's
us
still
out.
mad.
If I was a GM and say I did that, would curse me out, spit at me and throw coins and batteries and snowballs at me if that was the case and they found out if I did it. I want to know why. And it happens year in and year. It happens every single year. Like you said, Michelle, we're one player off. We're one draft player off.
Every year.
Every year it's mind blowing. Like, I love Derek Barnett. Don't get me wrong. Derek Barnett, you look at his resume at Tennessee, he broke Reggie White's sack record. So him coming in the NFL and coming to Philadelphia was like, you know what? It was a match made in heaven. But there were other guys out there he got. I mean, yes, he did pick up the fumble in the Super Bowl, so he did have some value for us. He
Does
does.
Dante just bail on us?
He's fixing his himself
Oh,
over there.
okay.
See,
Oh,
that's
what
how
I probably should have did.
that's what you're supposed to do. Once you become a
Yeah.
veteran,
I'm sorry, my bad. I should have hit
it's
the
all
stop
good.
cam.
It's all good. It's all good. It happens. But I mean, Derek Barnett was drafted in 2016 for our 2017 year. 2017 year for our Super Bowl, right? In that draft, and I did go back and look at that draft. I hate to do this, and I hate to go back. We drafted number 14 overall. Marlon Humphrey, a cornerback that we need, who is a selling with Buffalo. Baltimore, who is the master at doing the Peanut Tillman punch, which is when I attack you, I'm push the ball out. He's the master at doing that. He was available 2 picks later. Like you said, these are the guys that we are missing out on because of an incompetent GM. That, you know what, he sees somebody he like it, he's picking regardless of what the recruiting department is saying.
Man, we got beat by 2 guys that should have been Eagles, and we effed it up both times.
We
Russell
always
Wilson,
get beat by should have
we had
been
a
Eagles.
time. We had an opportunity to get Russell Wilson back when he was in his draft class, and we had an opportunity to get DK Metcalf, and those are the two single most important people that beat us. I mean, like it was them. They beat us on Monday.
This one
They beat
right
us.
here, this comment right here, it's gold. It's gold.
Yeah,
Nobody really knew that.
Matthews over
So I brought it up.
Devontae Adams makes my
That
stomach hurt.
draft was pretty stout with wide receivers.
JJ over DK Metcalf makes my stomach hurt. Come on.
We could do a whole show of draft picks and the ones that were either right before or right after them and fill up an entire hour.
So you know what I heard? I'm gonna tell you this. I heard the recruit the talent, the guys that go out and watch the scout department, they wanted Justin Jefferson. Howie Roseman said, "No, this is the guy I want. I'm picking him." Boom.
All right. Well, they suck. They suck, and we suck right now. And
Yes.
it's about to be 4 games in a row because we play the Green Bay Packers this week, and for all intents and purposes, it doesn't look very well it looks bleak for our heroes, as the comic book narrative narrator would say. It looks bleak for our heroes. Okay, it's just that old cheesy Batman TV show when right before they had Batman and Robin ready to lose their lives. It looks very bleak for our heroes here. It's not going to happen.
Damn, he took it back.
Yeah, that's
Mike Mamula, he took it back.
Let me end this quarter, man, because it was in the fourth quarter. Let me end this quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
So that's the end of Eagles talk, man. It's not getting any better. I guess we'll see you guys on Sunday. We will, and we'll you know, and
We
it's
will
funny
win.
because as much as I hate what's going on, I'm going to change, and it happens every Sunday. But when Sunday gets here, I'm a different guy. But then after the game, I'm like, oh shit, we suck. We suck. We do. You know what I'm saying?
We try to
So,
keep it clean, but after the game, we just curse up a storm.
yeah, I'm sorry, man. It doesn't look.
I'm proud of
It doesn't look
myself.
very
I
good.
didn't curse once.
All right, well, you're
not
good,
Chet.
but-
Not Chet. Listen, our first few years, we didn't drink, we didn't curse.
No.
After a while, we start cursing, we start drinking.
Yeah. Yeah, now we're here.
Now we here.
Started from the bottom, now you here.
Yeah, now we
Great.
started. But we
I
thank
didn't
you
know
guys.
that. Hold on,
for-
wait a minute.
for-
Wait a minute.
what-
Wait a minute.
what's
Did
that?
we draft Trey Thomas over Randy Moss?
I don't know.
Oh,
Did
because
we?
Trey Thomas is an all-time Eagle, though. I
Yeah,
don't think
we needed that O line. He actually
Yeah, we
did his
did.
job.
Yeah, he
So
was,
I don't know. I
Shout out
mean, when
to
you look
Trey.
at
He
it,
had
yeah.
Pino's palette out in Cherry Hill. He got the paint and sip. So when we open back up, y'all go hang out there.
Oh, where?
Awesome.
Where is it?
In Cherry Hill, in the plaza where Nordstrom Rack and Zinberger is.
Oh, we are the best hanger-outers out there.
yes, we are.
We are the best hanger-outers out there. You want our podcast to show up at your establishment because,
Yes.
just like we do here, like we have a great time. I can recall the NFC Championship game when we won the Super Bowl at where were we at, Pat? We were at
We was at Miller's Ale House.
Miller's Ale House,
Springfield.
Ooh.
That
and
was
it
the
was jumping.
Oh man! Then we went
was
to.
jumping.
We was at my. I'm a Mason. I'm also a Noble, a Shriner, and we was at my little spot here on Girard Street on 1428 Girard. We was at the Well, and when we did Super Bowl. So after the game, not only did I cry, we went down to the freaking
Oh.
Yeah, we were close to Broad Street, so
Broad Street.
that season was just memorable all in
It was
itself
crazy.
because we did a lot of
It was
tailgates.
crazy.
We were at the link, and we did a lot of tailgates, a lot of live interaction. And when we come to your establishment, it's just not, you get what you get right here, what you see on here, but we interact with the crowd, and that's what I think separates us from other podcasts and stuff like that. We're out there, and they are doing shots with us, and they are singing the song with us. So yeah, I can't wait till things get back to a more normal situation. This pandemic has been killing it for us.
Yes,
We
it
like to
has.
be out there. We like to be amongst you, just as I know the people would like to be in the stands and such, but it is what it is right now. But we'll be back there. We'll be back there very soon, especially with the vaccination being rolled out soon, hopefully. And
UK is getting it before us.
Good luck
They
with
They
said
that.
are.
bring it.
all right, what's the pharmaceutical company that's doing it out there? I need to
Zombie.
get that.
Johnson and Johnson,
That's how
Jersey,
zombies start.
Jersey,
That's how-
Pfizer,
Johnson,
and
they're
Moderna.
doing
There's
it.
three. There's three.
That's how
All right.
that's how the zombie show. That's how the zombies start.
You
Oh,
sound like
you
my
gotta-
I'm
friend.
ready.
You
I
gotta
got-
go.
I got my
You gotta go
swords.
look up their
I'm
stock,
about
man.
to be
Stop.
a zombie because I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm ready to be out. I'm about to be a zombie. Count me in as a zombie because I can't. I feel stir crazy. I need to get on a plane.
what?
I need to be able to go places.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to cut you off. I did look the draft up. It was 1998. We did pick Trey Thomas over Randy Moss.
All right, that's cool. We all right. We did all right with
But
it.
that's not as bad and egregious as the other picks.
Yeah,
Like we actually got something great out of Trey.
yeah,
These
we
other
did.
picks, we're not getting what these other players are doing. Like Russell Wilson, come on.
No, we don't have an
No.
equal for that. Like DK
Come on.
Metcalf, we don't have an equal. JJ is not doing anything near what DK Metcalf is doing. So yeah,
Mm-mm.
I agree.
Mm-mm.
I don't count the Trey Thomas as a
Yeah.
as a miss because we got productive years out of him, and he's an all-time Eagle. If
Yeah.
you ask
Yeah,
me.
we got some
This
Pro
year we
Bowl stuff
drafted.
out
This
of
year
him.
we
so.
drafted Jeremiah Trotter. The first time I ever saw
Right,
Jeremiah
yeah,
Trotter,
that
I went
that's
to the vet and I said that's a huge human. He's going to be a starter. He's a
yeah.
Jeremiah Trotter.
Those big boys balled then. They
Yes,
balled
they
then.
did.
They
That was
was all good
football.
picks.
That was football.
All right, we're gonna get out of here, but we'll be back on Sunday. What time is this game Sunday? 4:00.
I think it's 1 o'clock.
We have 4:25.
Yes, it is.
4:25.
It is 4:25.
All right, so we'll be here at 3:25. You guys tune in on Sunday, and damn it, I dread Sundays now. As much as I love to see the Eagles, man, the current state that we're in,
You can't see like
dread
Pookie.
Sundays.
You like
man.
Pookie. It just keep calling me.
Yes. I'm like, damn. And then I'll be so freaking disappointed after the game, man. It's just but we're gonna recharge by Sunday, and we'll be ready to go on Sunday, and maybe we can get a win out of Green Bay. Maybe, who knows? Maybe that will be something that can kickstart.
We've
or
had
turn
their
our
number
season
a few
away.
times. I'm
Yeah, we have.
optimistic.
And
I'm
last year
optimistic.
being the most recent, we went in there, nobody picked us to win, and we won.
Oh wow.
And,
Never.
hopefully we can do that again this Sunday. So tune in Sunday. We'll be back here, the Eagles Talk crew. Me, myself, Dante the Dark Knight, Pat, the Sandler Boy, only Sandler Boy left, and our new co-host, Nichelle, will be here. Not Babe, not all that. Stay out our DMs and all that, and respect her.
Yes.
Respect her, all right?
Respect my
don't
thoughts.
care.
Wait, can I put that
Respect
on?
her
Can I put that on? Wait.
I'm a cop, and you will respect my authority.
I will play that for now on. Anytime we introduce you, I gotta play that. I got to play that.
Yes.
All right. And don't pay attention to when she gets up and all that stuff. She don't mean that.
I'm gonna turn
But
my
anyway-
camera off next time. My
Yeah,
bad.
all right.
My bad.
No, we
I
take
didn't
care
mean
of it.
that.
We take
My
care of it.
computer was about to die. Y'all have been mad at me.
All right. We'll see you guys on Sunday, man. Be safe out there. Love y'all. We out. Peace.
We go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback, whack, yo, sack that fool. Hit him, hit him, hit him.